Joins us now, Mayank. It's very good and very heartwarming to see the gesture your company has taken of distributing 3 crore biscuit packets in this moment of crisis. So we appreciate that and we applaud that. That said, Mayank, what is happening to Parle production facilities? Is there a lockdown there? And could there be a shortage of Parle biscuit, more like a common man food, the chai and the biscuit in the morning because of the lockdown?
No, so there wouldn't be any shortage. That is something that we would like to assure everybody, all our valued consumers, that we are going all out to ensure that there is no shortage. Government, is of great help in terms of, ensuring uninterrupted production and supplies. So while central government has given a directive to keep food out of the purview of lockdown, uh, rightfully so, because there shouldn't be any shortage of food, panic buying and hoarding happening as a result of lockdown. I think there are issues which are faced by us and companies similar to us in few geographies. So the permissions and approvals are given by local authorities, while most local governments and authorities are allowing us. We are facing some issues in some geographies where they may not either allow production, or they may not allow the distribution of it. We need to understand that permissions have to be given for the entire chain, as in right from sourcing raw material and packing material to disseminating the goods, as in distribution of the finished products, including production. So currently, while in most parts of the value chain, we are getting approvals. Even if you are not getting permission, let's say just for the distribution, the last leg, you may not be able to ship out the product, and there might be issue with the availability. So we are working very closely with the local authorities, local governments, and telling them that food has been kept out of purview of lockdown, and that they need to at least ensure and allow us ensure availability and allow us to continue producing and distributing.
Okay. But how is the functioning actually possible? Because if there is a lockdown, will that not have an impact on, let's say, the packaging material which you buy, the raw material in this case, which could be maida, sugar, and vanaspati? There's a Parle syrup which I know needs to be transported to your co-packers. How will everything be managed?
Yeah. So, as I said, the exemption has to be given to the entire chain, and I think in most places it has been given. So, the raw material and packing material is also exempted. There are passes which are issued by local authorities, and those passes allow you to ship either finished goods or when source raw material. In fact, most raw material, as you rightly said, be it wheat flour, be it edible oil, or be it sugar, are essential commodities which are anyways exempted from the lockdown. So sourcing also requires those passes, and they are already being provided. Now the issue currently we are facing is more towards the distribution part. So while raw material sourcing and packing material sources more or less is getting into place, production also is allowed. In distribution, unless you don't distribute it, unless you are not shipping it to the market, there is no point in manufacturing it. So we are working with local authorities in certain parts. In most parts, it I think is we are working very closely with our partners, distribution partners. In fact, some of the organized retail chains have come forward. They themselves are sending their trucks directly to our manufacturing location, from where they are directly picking up the stocks. So those kind of things are being worked out currently. We are ensuring that the stocks are available in the market to the consumers, and there is no panic situation that's created.
Okay. What about e-commerce channels as well, Mayank? How are they dealing with this? Are you able to also liaise with them?
Sorry, whom are you talking about? I missed that.
The e-commerce channels.
Yeah. So e-commerce channel, see, if we look at their contribution is not really very high. Although, they are probably ideal channels right now, given the scenario, but we are supplying to them as well. But, the major stock still is going to the traditional distributors and the organized retail, especially the modern trade brands or banners. So we are working very closely with both of them. E-commerce also is getting supplied, but given the nature of the product, I think the contribution that's coming from each e-commerce channels is still not, really very big. It's still marginal. So they are definitely, supplied stocks, but they're not available across one. Also, some of the e-commerce players whom we are working with are not fully operational. They are not operational in all the places where they are present. So depending on, where they have stocks or where they are getting permissions, only few cities are operational. So it's like, every day you come to know which all cities are operational. So in fact, they even take orders in certain cities where the operations are possible. Otherwise, they're not even taking orders from the consumers. So as I said, two things. One, the contribution of e-commerce players is not really significant. So it's not really, a big channel through which you can disseminate stocks. One. Secondly, given their size and given their presence, I think not all the cities are functional right now for some of the e-commerce players.
Okay, and are you also seeing an increase in sales across, let's say, snacks, pulses, or is it just biscuits in particular?
No, across processed food, across our categories, we are seeing increase in consumption. So what is happening is the sense that we are getting from the ground, from the market is that consumers are buying whatever is available. So right now it's not about a particular variety of product. They are just lapping up whatever is available, considering the lockdown, and they are worried that whether they would be able to step out for the next 21 days or not. So I think, to a certain extent, even hoarding is happening, panic buying is happening, and people are buying whatever they can lay their hands on. In fact, I visited few outlets just to check out, I myself was buying few things, and I checked out that shelves are completely, clean, as in people are just lapping up whatever is available. There's hardly anything that's available in terms of food.
Joining us, Mayank, and talking us through the situation. So there is more demand, however, in conversation with distributors, with local stores and across the country, it's a day-by-day evolving situation. That's the sense that we're getting from Parle.